It was 2020.
Yeah.
I was at work. My Nancy was had just left the house about 45 minutes before, and the neighbor drove by and saw smoke coming from the right-hand corner of the barn. When she stopped and came back, it had broken through the window and was starting to engulf the whole right-hand corner where my workbench was. It was started by a short circuit in a power strip. We had 6 fire engines here. The fire was pretty much out. They did do some spraying in some spots in the right-hand corner of the barn. But ironically, we had an old fire extinguisher, and the fire got so hot in that corner that it popped the seal on the fire extinguisher, and it blew and basically put the fire out. But what caused a lot of the damage was the heat had gone up into the second floor of the barn and was building up there and coming down, and it came down to about shoulder height on the first floor. And so everything from that height up was pretty much melted. There was a lot of damage and things we discovered that we had out here, because you forget things. That was kind of the shocking, was coming into the barn and seeing what damage had taken place in such a short period of time. It was just amazing.
Just a minute.
I mean, it just seemed unreal that this was something I'd been in the night before. And we called USAA. They're our primary insurance agency, and they were very, very helpful. They got us to Mr. Mumford and 2 other companies that do restoring and helped us clean out. And so that was a big relief. You guys showed up, and it was so helpful, pulling things out and stuff. We basically just had to sit back and watch and talk about what could be restored and what probably couldn't. It was an experience. I don't want to do that again, and I don't think Nancy does too.
No, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
A lot. It was
okay.
When you have 10 to 12, 15 people all in the driveway at the same time, telling you all these different things to do, it was just too much. I told them they had to leave for 2 days and leave us alone, and they did. I don't really recall losing anything really. It was mostly real heavy soot damage on everything. Like this bassinet, this has been in Nancy's family for since I was a baby.
Yeah, since she was a baby, and our children were in there, and hopefully we've got a grandchild that's coming along in April. She'll be in there. It's restored back to the way it was. It was
Great
black.
grandchild.
Great grandchild. I apologize. Sorry, girl. It's a girl too. But no, I guess we were almost like hoarders, because you put things away and you forget about them. And one of the things was a painting. One of the first houses we bought was up in New Hampshire, and we found some old paintings up there that the family had left. The house was built back in the 1700s, and it was a Wentworth family they were the governor of New Hampshire and stuff there too. And it was primary, soot damage and a lot of chipping on the outside. And we found some smaller pictures that we weren't sure we were going to be able to restore, but they did a fantastic job. In fact,
a lot was saved.
2 of them went out to St. Louis with my daughter. They were so happy with them. Like the chest of drawers behind us and the metal doctor's cabinet, they were really, really covered with soot, which penetrated and it looks better than
Looks like
when we first had it. As you can see, I'm using it. The chest was
a chest we'd had, when we first got married. Not sure where we got it, but it was soot covered too, and they stripped it down, and it looks beautiful. I had originally, on the second floor, built a small train layout for the grandchildren. I'm not a master of any sort as far as scenery goes and laying it out, but it was something the grandchildren, when they came over, they could run upstairs, and we added carpeting on the floor. And, it was a big layout. It was probably 10 by 20, and went in a circle, and you could stand in the middle. Well, the grandchildren have all grown up, so I kind of took it over. And I would build a lot of scenery, and that's what I used to get a kick out of, make it as realistic as you could. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the heat from the fire is what did most of the damage. It went straight up in the corner of the barn and came down, because it was a gambrel roof, and it hit the train set, and everything was melted. Train engines, train cars, all the buildings. It was a lot of money that I had accumulated in doing it. But as my son said, it looked like an atomic bomb had gone off of my train set. Everything was just melted. There was a air conditioning unit, I don't know if you remember, as you walked up the steps, and the whole front of it was just melted going down the wall. There were 2 fans up there, because it was not really air conditioned. And to look at them, it looked like a horror movie, because the fans had just melted. That was the biggest heartbreaking thing, was seeing that personal work that I had done just gone. So.
And it melted and came down through the floor.
Yeah.
Which was then the ceiling to the first floor, and so the plastic was melted all over everything.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
Well, we had an ATV parked on the first floor, and there were bits and pieces of plastic that had dropped on it and melted. Didn't do it any damage, but it was obviously very hot. The fireman said that it was probably getting ready to burst into a big flame because of the heat buildup, but they think the fire extinguishers kind of stopped that. So, but we learned too that a lot of the damage brought some to where I work part-time. The heat and the water from the firemen really kind of penetrated a lot of things, and that helped the soot really soak into a lot of porous, things like the cabinets and the best. That was one real surprise to see that damage, from the heat and combination of water. Yeah, well, like the bassinet being in Nancy's family, and the sleds, we had no idea. You never go through this. Well, maybe, hopefully not more than one time in a lifetime. So we weren't sure, things could be restored. The cabinets and the metal. This was first time experience, and I hope nobody has to go through it. So yeah, we didn't know what could be saved, and
our insurance company, USAA, which is fantastic, they are the ones that gave us Mumford Restoration's phone number. And so thankfully that all came to, and they came out and told us that they could take a lot of the items and restore them and fix them like new, and they sure did. And
But Mumford just took the equipment, and when we got it back, it was just amazing. When they were bringing it in, when the shop was empty, and it was like, wow, oh my gosh.
It was like Christmas.
Really, really awesome.
It was. So Mumford's Restoration, they did quite a few items for us. I can't remember the number, that was a lot.
Like 20 or 30, I believe.
At least. Well,
Yeah.
well, there was at least, what, 8 chairs,
Yeah.
straight back chairs, cane chairs, and there was 2 upholstered chairs, like a bedroom chair and a desk chair. And they did these items that you see. We had 3 wooden sleds that were really black. They did the sleds. There's a metal car up there that was Pat's when he was a little boy. They did that. Oh, the toy chest over here, that was really black. That was from the 60s.
Yeah.
And now that's going to go to our grandson. But anyways, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the paintings. There was, what, 6 or 8 paintings that were restored that were really bad, dirty, and really had a lot of bad odor. Oh, I'm trying to think what else they did. But it was all like, it was beautiful. It was just beautiful, brand new items they looked like. It was something. I'm trying to think what else.
Oh, we had the sewing cabinet, which is
Martha
up
Washington
there.
sewing cabinet. We had a lot of furniture stored in the barn because our house is kind of full too. But it's slowly working its way into the house now and to our kids. Well, when Mr. Mumford came out and looked at everything to see if they could take it back and what we had and what condition it was in, they took a lot of things that I didn't think could be repaired, and he helped, us decide what was really important to us and valuable through, I guess, our hearts. And let me see. He would always say, "Is this piece important to you?" Which I liked that a lot. He was really into that. And then, oh gosh.
They
trying to
they
think.
took the pressure off us on, to decide, about restoring the. It was a pleasure, We didn't have to worry about it, They just, pulled the things out and looked at them and told us, what they thought, and later on gave us a list and the pricing that it was going to cost to take care of, and which was great because we had to give that to the insurance company. I mean, they took the pressure right off us. It was just, just relaxing. Having somebody else really do the work for you.
It was so nice.
Oh, basically not having to worry about anything.
That's what we appreciated with Mumford's Restoration.
Yeah.
There was emails and phone calls, and it was
And questions
a lot of
for us,
contact.
do you want this finished? Do you want this material?
Oh yeah.
It was real easy. That was the easiest part of the whole thing.
They were like family. They were like family. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody else goes through this, we gladly, mention Mumford's. It's a given.
We were very lucky it wasn't a house.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do, how they deal with losing their home.
We just feel good, now we're going to have a great grandchild that's going to be using, the bassinet. The rocker is going to our grandson. He's getting married in November, and she's planning on children, so she wants a rocker. As I mentioned, some of the pictures that were really soot covered came out so good. My daughter, who lives out in St. Louis now, gladly took I think 3 of them, I believe.
The paintings.
Yeah.
From 1800s.
Yeah, and things are going to the family because it was done so good that now we pass them on gladly. So
we didn't lose them.
Yeah.
We have them and they're like new.
Yeah. Better than
new. Better than when
we had them.
Thanks to Mr. Mumford and his company.